Hey friends, it's Courtney, and I just wanted to talk a little today about transformations and breakthroughs and turning points in our lives. And this is a big topic. So first, I just wanted to share a story from my own life about a time in which saying no was really the biggest yes. So a time when I had to put up a boundary or say no to something in order to really say a deeper yes to myself. So, hey Angela, hi Shara, good to see you on here. Hi Kathleen, good to see you. Happy Sunday. Hope everyone's having a good weekend. Hi Grace. Cool. So, today I'm talking about times and examples in which saying no can really be our biggest or ultimate yes. And the example for me, hi Crystal, good to see you here. The example I want to share today is 2 years ago, I was working in my 8th year of public school teaching, and I was teaching essentially my dream job. I was teaching a class called Social and Emotional Learning, which I also just call the exploration of being a human. Hey Vicky, good to see you. So I'm teaching like the best class ever. I'm in total alignment as far as teaching something that aligns with my values and something I'm passionate about. And I find myself, though, during this year, my 8th year of teaching, with 175 students, and I'm coming home just completely wiped out. Or perhaps I'm not coming home until very late because I'm stuck working. And what's going on for me is this constant giving, 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 to a point of it not being sustainable, right? So I'm just building relationships and doing the work that I truly love with my students and connecting with them and sharing the content and sharing the curriculum that I feel so passionate about and teaching yoga club and supporting a creative writing club and, doing all of the things I love and feel so passionate about. But I was starting to lose passion because it was not sustainable. I couldn't endure the amount of energy that I was having to give, and I wasn't able to receive to a degree that allowed me to be sustained energetically. And so I had to just come to this realization that I had to say no to this teaching life, at least for the moment. Maybe not forever, right? I think that's a beautiful thing about life is that saying no doesn't mean saying no forever, but it means for now, no. And so at the end of my 8th year of teaching, I had committed to resigning, and I was pretty fearful, right? Because there's security that comes with having a job and signing a contract. I know, every year when I sign my contract, it's like, okay, I have 2.5 months to chill and relax, and then I'll come back to my job, and I know what teaching is about. And so I have security. There's financial security. There's the security of just knowing what this job or this career is about. Even though every year and every student provides a new adventure and a new challenge, there's still just that security piece. Hi Kai, good to see you here. So what I would like to say about this experience is I took the big leap and I resigned from my teaching job, and I went into the summer just knowing that I was in a process of discernment. And so that time of discernment was considering, am I going to seek a counseling career? Am I going to go back to teaching? What am I going to do? I knew that I would continue to work with young people and families, but I wasn't really sure what that would look like. So I did have to say that big no to teaching. I had to put that boundary in place and accept that, honestly, I felt like I was losing or changing a part of my identity. So then throughout that was my 8th year of teaching, so that was the 2015-2016 school year. And then during 2016 and 2017, I still taught, but I did so privately. So I worked privately with a family as a nanny, a professional assistant, and a tutor. So with one family, so much smaller, giving my energy to 4 people, not 175. And then during that year, I continued to do private tutoring, but then I also did decide to take a part-time job, and I took this job as a learning specialist. So I work with small groups of kids, usually between 1 and 3 students, doing reading or math intervention. And so this is really one of my specialties, where one of my big areas of expertise is working with children with different learning disabilities or other disabilities. And so I took that job knowing that it would give me the creative time, creative freedom to explore something else, to continue the manifestation, to continue the discernment. And so all of this whole year was it was space. It's like saying no to teaching meant that I had a whole year to just consider the possibilities. And if you heard my live the other day, I talked about my belief in unicorns. And for me, the unicorn represents possibility and magic and possibility. And so this whole year was all about finding the unicorns, finding the possibility, exploring, being curious. And so I'm still at this time, so that was just last school year. And then this year, starting tomorrow, I'll have my first students back at my small Jewish academy that I work at as a learning specialist. But also during this last year, I developed and launched a new business. So I developed Courtney Harris Coaching. And that has been amazing because it's truly the saying no to my teaching, that kind of public school teaching that the idealist in me really wanted to stay involved in. Hey, Krista. Hi, Ellie. Good to see you here. So there's a part of my identity that is connected to teaching, and the idealist in me, I believe in public education. I know that I was serving my students and creating strong, lasting, important relationships with them, but it was just, again, not sustainable for me. So saying no to that was really hard for me. It was almost this like loss of identity, a change in, am I still going to be able to do work that aligns with my values? I did have some fear in all of that. But again, this year, or the saying no to the teaching, offered so much space, so much possibility. And that's where my huge transformation came in. That's where I developed the idea for my Courtney Harris coaching business. And the best part about it is that so it's like I saw teaching and I saw what I loved about my teaching and what I was amazing at in my teaching, my gifts in teaching, the relationships that I build with students, the community that I build in my classroom, the way that I help humans connect with one another. And so when I finally just accepted those gifts and I realized I don't have to teach a class of 37, I don't have to kind of experience this huge energy drain because I can't keep up with the number of students, but I can continue to do the work that I love in a new way. And that's where my whole idea for my business came from, just so organically, but organically with intention, listening to myself and doing that process of discernment. So I know people have been jumping on throughout this talk, and I just am so excited to tell you about this journey of how saying no to one part of my life or one commitment in my life opened the biggest space and so much possibility for me. And it's been a true journey of really accepting myself, accepting my gifts, and also accepting some of the challenges or accepting some of the things that I'm not as skilled or not as passionate about. Large group lecture is not my favorite scene. I do love to do workshops, and I love to be in a situation of interactive and sharing information in a collaborative way. But lecturing to a class of 37 is not my thing. I am not passionate about it. Hey, Margot, good to see you. So I am so excited for you all to share what are some times for you that you've had a big transformation or a breakthrough or a shift, what in your life, maybe it's, sometimes we've been met with an illness or an accident, or we have a child, or there's a big life change sometimes that opens up new space for us. So maybe for you, it was not a moment of saying no, but perhaps there was something else that initiated your breakthrough or initiated your transformation. And I'd love to hear you all share those stories below. So for me, again, it was the saying no was really my biggest yes. And I am happy to say that I'm still a really strong supporter of the public schools. I will always be a strong supporter of the public schools. But now I'm in a new journey. So I can say yes to public school and support in the ways that are meaningful to me through volunteering, through donations, through my voting, all of that. But then I can also continue to open the space for my creative possibilities and for the work that I feel very passionate and I know that I am called to do. So just trusting that intuition. Hey, Am, it's good to see you. Okay, y'all. So I thanks so much for tuning in and listening to my story. It's definitely an important one. It's so strongly tied to my identity and my values in the world and what I am called to do. So I appreciate you being here, and I'd love to hear your stories below. So share about your breakthroughs, your transformations, and just those ways in your life that you've opened up to new possibilities and you've gone searching for unicorns. And I'll talk to you all soon. This is day 21 of my 31-day Facebook Live challenge. So thanks for hopping on, and it's good to see you all. Have a great Sunday.